It's gonna be a fun one. This is the GOODWERKS Boogie Lite Mark II. Now I've never had Mark I, so I really can't compare them directly, but I can tell you that the Boogie Lite originally had some straps on the front of it. This one's totally different. I have to believe that the capacity is similar. We're gonna get a tape measure here to compare the Boogie Lite to the Boogie Bag Mark III, just to kind of give you some idea what the differences are. Now I realize that this is limited stock, recently released. You may not be able to get it unless you were right there at the right time. That's unfortunate, but the reality is this is a one-man shop. One man builds, ships, creates, it just does it all in limited quantities. I'm sorry you won't be able to maybe get this initially, but I can tell you that if you do, or if you did get it, that you should look for the next one. Now it does, I'll get into the differences, but this is really cool. Big thanks to Tim for sending this out for test. Had it for a little bit. Unfortunately, I haven't been traveling the last couple of weeks, so I haven't had the time to go and take it on the road, but I can just draw some conclusions from my previous experiences with the Boogie Bag Mark III, mostly because it is constantly with me. It's one of my essential EDCs. It's with me all the time when I travel. A little tiny side note, this is the original Dragon, not from GOODWERKS, from Mystery Ranch and Carryology. Phil from PS Patch, we made a deal, and I bought it from him. So this is coming soon, but because this was had this X50 multicam black, and the one that I have here is a 500D, not X50, but this is kind of a nice side little bag to accessorize with anything multicam black. In fact, in the future, decided I'm actually looking for the Alpine edition. This is the Triple Out Design Scout, but if I can't find an Alpine edition for my expedition to Lake Tahoe, this might be my 1-2 combo. So anyway, more to come on all that stuff, but you're not here for that. You're here for the Boogie Bag or the Boogie Lite Mark II. Now just comparing it roughly in terms of features. Now the strap on the Boogie Bag is removable, 2 buckles on either end. The strap here is not removable. There is 1 buckle on one other end, so you can get it around your waist. Same adjustment style as the straps that come with the Boogie Bag Mark III, but the Boogie Lite Mark II has just 1 attachment, so the strap's not coming off. This is a light and lean version of the full Boogie Bag, not only in features but in dimensions. We'll get to the dimensions here in a little bit. Now, one of the coolest features of the Mark III was this back pocket. We have a back padded pocket on the Boogie Lite. So this is the perfect place for your cell phone, wallet, that kind of thing, just to keep it safe. Now this is the largest, this is a max, no case, but it fits in there very nicely for me to keep the phone with me on the road. And again, why do I use this? This is if when I exceed the capacity of my pockets, I want to put it somewhere else. Fanny pack, hip pack, Boogie Bag, Boogie Lite is the way to go. And honestly, as we pack this out, this one might be the one that is now my EDC. We'll see. Anyway, the other differences, we still have a loop panel on the front, which is, well, not still. We have a loop panel on the front, which is like the Boogie Bag. The original, like I said, just had some straps on the front for you to put maybe sunglasses, a tourniquet, that kind of thing. I probably wouldn't have used it that way, but it was a cool front design. This one again just has a loop panel for your favorite patches, whether they're from GOODWERKS or some other ones. This one actually, I got this one on Amazon. Put a link in the description to it. It's funny, I like it. And of course, JB Outside patch. Those are still available. Got a few left. But anyway, without that, just loop panel, the material again, 500D on this one. No other external pocket. That's the big difference here. The full Boogie Mark III had a front pocket with organization on the inside. This one's got no front pocket. Again, light and lean version of what this is. On the inside, let's just dive into it. I'll put some stuff into it later so we can kind of talk about sizing. But the front of this is no different than the front of the Mark III Boogie bag. It's just the blue, hyper blue interior, has a nice key loop, which is great. And the back panel is the loop paddedness, so you can put a wave organizer in there that he sells, which is great. And you can just put some other stuff in there. This was great for batteries, so action camera batteries, that kind of thing fits in there for me. Otherwise, you know, go nuts on whatever you want to put inside the back. Or otherwise, it's completely removable. Take it out and then don't use it. That's kind of how I roll with these other ones. I don't have loop the wave organizer like I did in the Mark II, but you know, that's just the way it rolls. So it's nice. No, you know, the Mark III Boogie bag, he's got a little loop in there for pens, that kind of thing. This one doesn't have that. So you just have the loop. It's pretty much a simple interior, which again, it's Boogie Lite. So one zipper versus, oh, two zippers, sorry. Two zippers and then one zipper on the back. So, you know, go from either side with the zipper pulls. Very nice, little 550 cord style zippers like he does on everything else, which is really awesome. So again, light version. Dimensionally, how does it stack up? So let's just get out the old tape measure and see what we got. So the original Mark III is about, we'll say 8.5. The front panel's 8.5. Probably can stretch out a little bit, okay? This one, again, it's 8.5 inches wide. Height of the regular Boogie, the front panel appears to be about 5 inches, 4 3/4. Front panel here, it's about the same. So front panel, basically footprint of either Boogie bag, light or full, is the same. Now the width is where we kind of get some differences. And the width of the original, or the full Boogie, is about 2.5 inches. And this one, when I measured earlier, it's about 1.5 inches. Yeah, pretty much 1.5 inches. So you get an inch shallower bag. Same front-ish footprint, although when I put them next to each other like this, it looks like it's a little narrower, but basically the same footprint, just a narrower version. Nothing on the bottom, straight, you know, the Mark III's got this little drain hole and some elastic there. The original Mark II didn't have that, so there you go. No little, you know, attachment points on there, but we have a nice pull on the ends that he incorporates, which is awesome. So that's the Boogie Lite. Now packing it out, and again, this version right here, this is a Recore 1200 or something like that. This is, and I keep an air tag in this sucker so I can always remember where it is. I just attach the air tag to the key loop on the Mark III. So inside here, this is kind of how I roll. I put my Pocket 3 from DJI in the bottom of this thing, along with a mini extension pole in case I wanted to use that. But that thing just lives in the bottom. And you can see I've got plenty of room on top of this thing otherwise for maybe another action camera, that kind of thing. So a little more room. In fact, if we want to, this is a triple out design, single booster pod, you could throw that in on top. You know, maybe sunglasses, that kind of thing. And that's usually what rolls in there. Sunglasses, phone, and then usually camera batteries in the front. That's kind of how I roll with the Boogie bag normally. In fact, this lives in every bag every time I travel, because I'm usually going to record something wherever I am. In this Boogie Lite, again, little shallower bag, but this, you know, again, if this was perfect, actually, let's do it a little differently. How we do it on this one, put that in the bottom, we put the base, we put the charging thing, then we have the microphone, and then we have that. So you can see that essentially we have the same. Now, with really no additional space. So Pocket 3 is going to be perfect for that. When it comes to taking some sunglasses, you know, if it's just the sunglasses, I could make that work in there. So not in a big bulky sunglasses case. So there you go. As long as I'm just taking my Pocket 3, the Boogie Lite is going to be the way to go. In fact, so I'll just probably leave this like it is because it's a nice little packing cube pouch, keeps it just my essentials, and then I'll just pack that in whatever bag, get it out, roll around town. Boogie Lite Mark II. So if you're wanting to know a little bit more, because maybe you don't do a Pocket 3, what other things could you fit inside? Well, let's just compare some other commonly used or available pouches that you might also put in there. So let's say, let's go with Evergoods. So you're not going to be able to get the Cap 1. As you can see, the Cap 1 is just totally different size, bigger. You're not going to be able to jam a Cap 1 from Evergoods in there. So that's not going to work. The Cap half is going to be sort of, it's going to be too, now it depends what you got in here. You could kind of just compress and jam that sucker in there. But the Cap half is also just a little bit too wide to store in the Boogie Lite, although it seems to basically barely fit in the full up Boogie. Other things, if we go to triple aught design, I already have one booster pod in there. Is it a 2 booster pod single kind of situation? Yeah, basically barely. I can get this thing shut, and it's cool, right? Barely. Of course, it depends what you have in there, but that's basically 2 booster pod singles from triple aught design fit in there. So does a double then fit? Well, it should. In fact, it fits a little bit more perfectly. So if I had to put one thing on this, either the double or this GPP1, either one of these things, GPP1, both triple aught design, both VX, links in the description to all that stuff. Those are kind of the, if you're going to put something inside and then remove it, those would be the things that fit in there perfectly. So that's the Boogie Lite Mark II, stripped down, lightweight, fast and lean version of the Boogie bag. Probably more simple for him to make because it doesn't have this front pocket and a little bit less layers. So hopefully we got more of these coming on a more readily available cycle than we do the Mark III. But I don't know. He's gone through a lot of changes. He's set up shop now in Philadelphia, and I know he's really trying to increase production to a level that sustains or, at least feeds the demand signal on these very popular bags. And they've been essential for me for a long time, and this one is now my Pocket 3 companion. So there you go. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Biggest thing you can do to help the channel grow is to just watch it through its entirety. Helps this video get in front of more people. And you can also subscribe. Sign up for alerts because I got more coming soon. Fast and Furious here for the holidays. I got a gear guide planned. I hope I can get it together with all my just favorites. Just all the favorite things that I've used over the last year, putting it on one list so you have it in one spot, or you can, put it on your Christmas list or point someone in the direction to the video. Again, coming out in hopefully before Thanksgiving. And I hope I can get my act together and get that together to you. So there you go. Get outside. See you in the next one. See ya.